Okay, so this is going to be our quick mini lesson on theme that is going to go along with your thematic statement practice for The Man in the Well by yourself. So, first, we are going to talk about theme all year. Theme is going to kind of drive a lot of our discussions, and every single thing we read, we will talk about theme. Throughout Lord of the Flies, we are going to be tracking themes from the very first chapter until the very last chapter. You'll be writing about theme after the novel ends. So theme is never going to leave us throughout the rest of the year. In order to come up with the themes, specifically to come up with a thematic statement, which is the goal. A thematic statement is the goal. In order for us to come up with a thematic statement, we have to understand what theme is, and even more specifically, what theme is not. So, first, overall definition for theme is the universal idea or underlying message that the author wants to convey to the reader, okay? The theme is not a summary, and the theme is not a moral. It is the underlying message or the overall universal idea that can be related to that the author tries to get across throughout the reading. Every reading is going to have a theme. Every author has an intention and a purpose for what they are writing, and the overall purpose is going to be that theme. So, we will use characters, settings, dialogue, all of those literary terms in order to determine what a theme is. So remember, theme is the underlying message or the universal idea that the author is conveying for the reader. Sometimes, a lot of times, theme gets confused for main idea. Theme also gets confused for moral or lesson, and theme also gets confused for topics. Themes are not main ideas. Themes are not morals. Themes are not topics, okay? Main ideas are what the story is about. Morals are lessons that you learn. Topics are quick one-word descriptions of what the story is about. Now, we will use topics to develop our theme, but a topic, a one-word topic, is not a theme. A theme needs to be a statement, okay? Let's think about an example. I hope everyone has seen Finding Nemo, because if you have not, you may not get this example. But I'm going with Finding Nemo because I think it is a universally known movie that we can talk about. So, Finding Nemo. First, a main idea for Finding Nemo would be that a father goes on a journey to find his lost son. There's a main idea. A moral for Finding Nemo, or a lesson, could be listen to your parents. Do what your parents say. That would be a moral or a lesson. A topic for Finding Nemo could be family. Okay? Now we're going to take that topic of family and develop our theme, or develop the underlying message that the author is trying to convey. In this sense, I guess it would be the director or producer. But in Finding Nemo, a theme that goes with the topic of family could be family will go to extreme lengths in order to protect and care for one another. Okay, so our topic is family. Our theme is that family will go to extreme lengths to protect and care for one another. Okay, this is all based on Finding Nemo. Do we see the difference in main idea, summary, topic, and theme? Theme is what we are searching for right now. Theme is always going to be a significant idea or a statement that can be universally seen, which just means that many people can relate to, okay? A lot of times, themes are going to refer to ideas about human nature, or ideas about the human condition, or ideas about society. That's just how themes typically find one another. So our family theme would relate to human nature, okay? And family is something that many people, if not everyone, can relate to, okay? So that is why it is our theme. Now, you are going to practice writing a thematic statement on your own. I have steps for you, okay? You are doing this when looking at The Man in the Well by Ira Sher, which is linked onto Google Classroom for you. So let's go over these steps real quick. Just like with Finding Nemo, we first found our topic that we wanted to focus on. So for Finding Nemo, our topic was family. On this, for step 1, you are going to pick out your topic, okay? Whatever you think is one of the main things that the author is looking at in The Man in the Well. Okay, what is one of the main words that come to your head when you think this is what this story is about? Topics are going to be one word. Themes are never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, 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 ever going to be one word. Our topic is. Okay, so step 1 is to come up with a few different topics that you think that the author is exploring through this writing. Step 2, you are going to write. The author thinks that, and then whatever else it is that you think your author is trying to say about that topic. So for step 1, my example was innocence. Okay, so I chose innocence as the topic that I thought that the author was trying to explore. For step 2, I said the author thinks that innocence is not a trait that is present in every child. Okay, that was me saying, ultimately, I see this topic and I see it through this. I think that the author is trying to say this. In order to create my thematic statement, all I have to do is take off the phrase, the author thinks that. When you take away the phrase, the author thinks that, you have created a thematic statement. You have created what the author is trying to convey to the reader, the underlying message that the author is trying to convey to the reader. When you create that, you have created a thematic statement. Okay, so all I did for step 3 was remove the author thinks that. So it read, innocence is not a trait that is present in every child. And that's the theme that the author was going for, or one of the themes. There are so many in The Man in the Well. In everything we read, there's going to be so many different themes that we could discuss and so many different topics. That's why sometimes it can be difficult, because there isn't just one correct answer. It's all going to be objective based on what you got from it. So I took away the author thinks, and I was left with innocence is not a trait that is present in every child. Okay, so the goal of this assignment is ultimately to get used to writing thematic statements. Breaking it down into these 3 steps, I think truly helps, because sometimes it is hard for you to come up with a theme. Sometimes it's hard to even identify a theme in general, but if you can identify a topic, if you can identify something that the author is trying to say, just one word about it, you can identify a theme. So remember, theme is not the main idea. Theme is not the topic. Theme is not the moral. Theme is not a summary. Theme is the underlying message or the universal idea that the author is trying to convey to the reader. If you have questions while you're completing this, or if you want to just check with me to see like, hey, do you think this theme is correct? Send me an email, send me a message on Parent Square, and I'll talk with you. Remember, this is due at your next class meeting.